Welcome back, students. So today I will discuss some experiment to study the presence of dissolved impurities in natural water. Means how to understood that our natural water contains some dissolved impurities in it. So these are the four experimental thing, that is I have taken suppose rainwater, well water, river water and the sea water. See students, I have taken this water into four slide, suppose that, or petri dish, and the rainwater, well water, river water and sea water, what will happen, I just or open the mouth of the this watch glass or the petri dish. After some days or after 1 days, after some hours, you will notice that in case of rainwater there is no or very few amount of particles is present in the form of residue. But in case of river water, sea water and the well water, which are basically the natural water, contains or showing some spot over here. In case of rainwater, that is very negligible, or you can say that simply almost negligible, but it is maximum in the case of seawater. So from this experiment, what will understood, it experiment shows that in natural water the dissolved impurities is present. So this is another example we have. We have another example, experiment number 2, to show that the plant release water vapor through their lips. So see these demonstrations. We have taken this to bell jar. This jar is special type for experimental purpose use, that is called bell jar. See students, I have taken two beakers, beaker number 1 and beaker number 2. So this is your beaker number 1 and this is beaker 2. This is called beaker in chemistry terminology. And I have taken one twig overheat and another beaker I have nothing have taken. But one thing I will do, whenever I have taken this twig, I just poured some oil over the water surface, and the second beaker same thing I will do. After 2 hours or 1 hour, what will happen, this is the this bell jar in the above portions having some condensed water, or you can say that some water vapor is condensed to liquid state. But in this case nothing will be happened in the above surface of this bell jar. So from this experiment we can conclude it, whenever the pure oil is covered over the water, so nothing will be evaporated towards the above portions of this bell jar. But in this case, whenever this twig is present in this oil water, that time some portions of the condensed water is present. That means the root of this twig absorbs some absorbs some water, and after that this water being evaporated towards the above surface of this bell jar, and after some time or this sunshine basically evaporates the water, and after some times whenever this water will be cooled down, and it will make some droplets over here. So this experiment show that plant release the water vapor through their lips, and this process is also, we can say that, the transpiration process also. Okay, now coming to the point, water cycle, the circulations of the water in nature. So from the above experiment you have learned that water vapor is continuously added in the atmosphere by plants. Other factors which are responsible for the additions of the water vapor into atmosphere, that is direct evaporations of water from the water bodies by the heat of the sun. So this is the water cycle. If you see minutely, you can see this direct evaporations of water from water bodies by the heat of the sun. So this is the source of heat whenever fall down in the water surface, and the whole water being evaporated again make cloud, and then again rainwater comes and the water will filled. The second point, that is the breathing of by animals including the human beings release the water vapors into the air. This is also true, because in animals respirations is happened, that time releases some water vapor into the air. In case of breathing, burning of various kinds of fuels release some water vapor. So as you know that in combustion reactions is happened like that. Suppose you have burned something, so it will release some heat, it will release some carbon dioxide, it will release some water vapor, and that water vapor, that means into the air, and after that it will make clouds, and after that fall down in the form of rain, and the rain is being, again this process will be carried out. That means recycling. Okay, evaporations, cloud making, rainwater, again this process will happen. But the one process is not that. The different ways there for the evaporations as well as the making the cloud, and this is the various way the circulations of the water in the nature. So this is basically your water cycle. Now we coming to the point, that is the purifications of the water. So water is called the universal solvent. It is true. So it is practically dissolve anything and everything in it. It is the another matter that certain substances dissolve it rapidly, whereas the others may take years or centuries to dissolve. Sometimes it will happen. Many of the substances dissolve in water. Whenever it exposed to the air, it dissolves a little amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide gas, and it dissolves very small amount of containers in which it is kept. Thus it prepare perfectly pure water. If it is not possible, it is very difficult. If not impossible, it is very difficult. However, for all the practical purpose, water free from dissolved impurities and pure enough for accurate chemical work can be obtained by the distillation process. So distillation process, I have told you what is basically the distillation process, and this distillation process is carried out for the purifications of the water. So the purifications of the water distillations already we have discussed, so we will not discuss, we just focus only the basic thing. So how it is formed. So water distillation purpose, suppose that we have the sodium chloride and water, and we need the water. So we have distilled the whole sodium chloride water, and the sodium chloride is remain there whenever you have distilled, and the whole of the water will be evaporated, and after that the whole water being condensed and taken in different container, and the remaining salt is present in another side. And this way, this process is called distillation process. We have gradually heat that particular sodium chloride and water, and we have separate the water and the sodium chloride very easily, and this process is called the distillation process. So in case of purifications, this type of thing will be carried out. So this diagram is tells like that. So if you see this diagram, then you can see or know everything very well. Suppose this is the distilled water, and first of all the whole water is be taken here, over here, and whenever you have heat it, this will be form the vapors or steam, and after that the steam will come through this nozzle, and here our condenser is there, or you can say that the cold water jacket is there. Basically this cold water jacket will convert this water vapor into the droplets of water, and we can easily separate out the water in another container. The impurities, whatever you have been impurities is present here, impurities will not steam, only the water will steam. So water, the whole water will be evaporated in the form of steam, and after the distilled, and the pure water we have been get, but the remaining impurities will be stay here. So this process is called the purifications of the water by distillations. Okay, so next video we will discuss the need for the potable water, what is potable water, what is the requirement of the potable water or drinking water, and the remaining part. Till then, thank you.